Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having a lovely day today. Today I'm going to go through my top tips for university. Now I can only speak for my experience on my degree at my university, but I can give you some generalised tips to help you through if you're moving in September. Just before I start, if you do like this video, and please make sure we give it a big thumbs up for me, and please hit the subscribe button if you are new. I'm going to make a little series of all of my tips and certain things to do when you move to university and certain things to do beforehand, so please subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every single time I upload. My first tip is to definitely do the pre-work. If your lecturers have put some pre-work up to tell you to do before the next lecture, do it. Because in my first year, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I didn't. And in the second year, when I started doing them, my grades rocketed by about 20%. So I was hitting 2-1 degree level standard instead of just scraping through my degree. So if they do set you something, do it. You will get a timetable, you will know when your lectures are, work around your lectures, do it the day before if you have to, but make sure you do it. It will really set you up for what the lectures are holding. You'll be able to understand it more, so please do it. If you don't take anything from this video, take away this one bit of advice. My second piece of advice is to make a budget and stick to it. Make a spreadsheet. There are plenty of different resources which can allow you to do this on Excel, certain things online you'll be able to set it all up with, but make one and stick to it, because there's nothing like going out in Freshers Week in your first week at university and then spending your month's worth of money on alcohol in the club on nice times. I got my dad to set me up on one, but essentially just all of my income's coming in, so I'd have like student finance. On my course I had a bursary, certain money from family, all coming in, and then I'd have certain outgoings like my food shopping, how much I'd spend on clubs, stuff for my car, and I had it all sectioned and a budget. So I'd have about £30-ish to spend on my food shopping a week. I'd have £70 to £100 for my car, for fuel and things. My third piece of advice is to go out. Just go out, explore the city that you're in, go shopping with friends if you've made any during Freshers Week, go out and do stuff, or go out and go to the clubs. Go clubbing. Normally on Wednesdays, that's when university students for some reason have clubbing nights. I know my university had a club on site, so every Wednesday there'd be people doing like prees in my kitchen and then they'd go clubbing. I'm not really an out person, too many people, but I still made sure to get out of my flat, go to the library, go out and meet people. Me and my friend, we organised since like first year, so for like 3 years, every Thursday we'd go and have Maccas at the local shopping place. So make sure you're going out. Don't spend all of your time in, even if you are introverted like me. My fourth tip is, if you are starting university this year, join as many group chats that you have. There'll be university group chats on Facebook, there'll be WhatsApp groups. Join them all in your first year, because then you'll be able to find similar people on your course, people in like your block of flats, people in your flat. You'll be able to find the people, speak to them before you move in, and then it won't be as daunting when you first go. That's one of the best things that I did when I first joined university. I went onto the WhatsApp group, I found people in my course, I was added to the group chat for my course, and then I was also added to the group chat for my block of flats. And I found someone who then I started speaking to, and then we met on the first night, and then a person who was on my courses in their flat, and now we're pretty much best friends. So speak to people, go onto the WhatsApp group. If you don't have WhatsApp, download it, because probably all the groups are on there. If not, they'll be on Snapchat. So my flat group currently is on Snapchat. My course is on WhatsApp. So download these certain parts of social media, because they will come in handy. Speak to people, try to make friends, try to recognize names beforehand, so it makes the first week a little bit less daunting for yourself. My fifth piece of advice is to 100% do not buy the books before you get there. Now what I mean by that is in Freshers Week they'll put a list for you on your course website. Normally they use Canvas, at least mine did, which essentially holds all of the modules that you're doing for the year, all of the information about each of the modules, all the reading. Do not buy the books until you get there and figure out what you have to read, because most of them will be online. Most of them will be through their online library platform, so you won't actually need to buy them. I think I spent quite a lot of money on an anatomy and physiology book for my first year. I used it in first year, I used it a tiny bit in second year, but that was pretty much it. And you could get it online, so it was kind of a waste of my money. So definitely hold off if you can. Figure out what the library has, but definitely hold out until your first week. Don't buy anything over summer. Another tip I have for just generalized uni things: turn up to your lectures. I cannot emphasize it enough. Turn up, because if you don't, you won't have a clue what's going on. So do the pre-work beforehand, turn up to the lectures. Even if you have been out until 2 a.m. on a Wednesday, turn up at your 9 a.m. on Thursday. Even if you have to drag yourself there and have 7 cups of coffee, go to it. All of the stuff that you go in your lectures, you'll need in your first year, second year, and third year, most likely, because every year you build up on stuff. So turn up. Because I know so many people that haven't turned up and they've ended up failing modules because of it. Now, you can occasionally, if you're unwell, obviously miss it. They do record them online, but sometimes the recordings don't go up until like 2 weeks later. Sometimes the recording won't get everything because the lecturer will forget to press record. So it's a lot more beneficial if you can actually turn up. And if you do miss a lecture, catch up on it. My next tip is consider joining societies and sports events. The university that you'll go to, especially like I know mine has a bunch of societies, from pole dancing, different like styles of, I don't even know. There's so much. There's too many to list. Join one if you can, or join a sports thing. Most universities will have a gym, so you could join a gym, but if you would prefer to do something else, go for it. During Freshers Week, the first 2 weeks probably that you start university, they do a bunch of like free trials, at least I know at mine they did, before you have to pay like the subscription, which can be quite expensive depending on what you are doing. Go to as many different ones as you can. Anything that sounds interesting, I would say go for it. I think in my first year I went to trampolining because I did it when I was a child. Some universities will be more sporty than others, so they'll have a wider selection, but join some things. It will ease the boredom a little bit, because you will be bored at times. It will give you something to do. Most of them are on Wednesdays, and normally on Wednesdays your lectures will finish around 1 p.m. to allow you to go out and to do these societies and to go and have fun. Essentially, they give you that time off, and I'd say use it. Spend any time in the morning going to the lecture, and then go to the society. Whatever you pick, it could be anything. They probably have a society for it. Whatever you're into. My next tip is to call your family once a week. At least once a week. It's up to you. But the way how I sort of run in third year more than any of the other years is I'd make sure I call them at least once a week. Just check up, say hi, show them that you're still alive. Especially if you're homesick, definitely call them, speak to people, because it can get really lonely. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are times I feel really, really lonely, and there are times when my boredom takes over. Call your family, call friends, speak to people, go out and actually do stuff. My last tip is more of a thing that I learned in my second year for you guys to do, so you do not make the same mistake. I didn't realise that the hobs were different. So some are induction and some are hot. Some are hot. They're both hot. Some are induction and some are gas. You need to make sure you're buying the right kitchen pans for it, because otherwise your pans won't work, and then you won't be able to have pasta and other things you need the hob for, which I can't think of currently. You will need the hob at some point. I know I did, especially if you're going to be one of them university students that lives off pasta. Make sure you research what it is beforehand and buy the pans that you need Don't leave it until when you've got to university to figure out, oh, my pans don't work at the Hobbs, because for the first 2 weeks, all of the pans will be sold out in your local shop because everyone will be buying them because they've got the same problem as you. So these are my top tips for starting either university this year or continuing over to next year. These are the tips that I would say are definitely my top 10 sort of thing. I will do a more in-depth of my top tips for your first week at university if you're new. But once again guys, if you've enjoyed the video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button, which is down here, if you are new, because that really helps me out and I really want to hit 100 subscribers. Also, if you hit the notification bell, you'll get notified for all of my other videos I'm doing within this university series. I'm a third year student, so I've been through all of it and I've done all of my exams now, so I'm just waiting to see if I actually do graduate this year or not. See you guys next time.